whichever date is earlier. So you should not be in a rush to change your passport. No, it's not necessary. But if you have to take a new passport now, we will insist that we give you the biometric passport for the reasons that I've already told you. So that is important. While I'm here, I'm going to meet with our Consulate General, and the issues that we'll be discussing will be the question of passports. You know, what to do in the short term, medium term, long term. So you will get to know eventually what it is. But I'm assuring you that there should be no difficulty at all. Now, having said that, I'd like to say that our president, President Mills, is not here this year because he is in China. In fact, he's just about leaving China to go back to Accra because of the census. You know, it's census year in our country this year. And 27th night is census night. So it was important for the president to go back to Accra to be part of the citizens of Ghana. He's the #1 citizen. But he also will be undertaking another trip to the Far East, maybe this time to Japan. I'm mentioning this because the president, whenever he is out of the country and visiting any other country, he insists that he should meet with the Ghanaian citizens. He insists that he will touch base with his citizens from Ghana, because some of you will be aware that the president has this unique vision of empowering Ghanaian citizens to engage in defining the people-centered foreign policy. In other words, his direction is that the foreign ministry, and for that matter all our missions across the world, whatever we do, we must ensure that it translates to tangible benefits for ordinary Ghanaian citizens. And unless we are able to do that, then we are not discharging our mandate adequately. And therefore, I'd like to pass on the message to you that we want you, as our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, to be interested in issues back home. We appreciate very much the remittances that you will send to your families. It is a very important part of the national budget of our country, for which we are grateful to you. But beyond that, we believe that as a duty to your motherland, there are not more things you can do. Some of you who have acquired knowledge and rare skills, you should consider making sure that you can transfer that knowledge back home to help to build our country. Some of you who have come into contact with big finance, either investors or partners, make sure that you bring them home to invest in the economy, or others to come and see the opportunities that are abundant in our country. Ghana, as I told you from the beginning, is riding high in the world. The visibility is much, much greater. And everywhere people are toasting Ghanaians. So your work should be made easy to convince people to come, whether as investors or tourists or whatever. They should come and visit our country. We know the benefits are immense. I know that there isn't sufficient time. Normally we try to listen much more than we talk. But I'm not sure whether we're going to have sufficient time here to be able to really hear some of the issues that are dominant on your minds. So at this point in time, I'd like to take my seat, but I'd like to invite His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers who is no stranger to you, is one of the iconic leaders of our country who has chalked a lot of international respect, and it is a real opportunity that he is here with us. Only last night, he received an award, and I was there present. Only last night. He received an award for international leadership and for the contributions he has made to our sub-regional organization, ECOWAS, and the individual countries. When I leave here, I'm going with him to Berlin. In Berlin, on 6th October, the German government is honoring him with an African award, again, for leadership and for contribution to our development in Africa. His Excellency the President would have been there at that function, but he asked me to go and represent him and represent our country on that occasion when he's been honored. He was the president of the ECOWAS Commission for a period of almost 10 years, if you recall. And then subsequently, he was appointed the executive secretary of the ACP group in Brussels. ACP is African, Caribbean, Pacific. All of these countries are in that organization, and he provides the political leadership. So, it is a real opportunity for me to invite him to share a few words with you. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. In Nigeria, I came all protocol observed. I will stand on the protocol already established. In this case, I'm going to stand on the protocol already established by the Honorable Mohamed Mumuni, Foreign Minister of Ghana, and be brief because I know you are very busy. Mabai Juma, we still have some things to do, so be very brief. First, to thank our Foreign Minister for the very comprehensive briefing he has provided. I'm sure the information he has told you, especially about how he is making it easy for you to get your travel documents, especially the passport, is one that is very welcome. He mentioned, but he was being very modest, that Ghana was a little late in adopting the ECOWAS passport. The truth be told, it became an embarrassment for me. Here's a case where we had advocated, let's have this ECOWAS passport, and I'm sitting there at the head of ECOWAS, and other countries are doing it, and my own country, thanks to the Honorable Minister, as soon as he came, and one brought this to his attention, he made sure that this biometric passport is now being issued, Ghana ECOWAS passport, as one passport, to facilitate movement, both in the region and, of course, is recognized internationally. And as you know, especially those of you here in the United States, there's a certain deadline by which if the passport is not biometric, you can't even use it to come here. So we want to acknowledge his leadership at the ministry and the speed with which he has tackled this particular matter. Because for those of you outside, it's very, very important. The minister is here, and we are all here this week for the usual General Assembly. But before the General Assembly this year, there was a special meeting on the Millennium Development Goals. And that is something which is of interest to those of us gathered here. because he's talking about how to fight poverty and reduce poverty in the world. But you know, when they say in the world, they mean especially in Africa. When they say Africa, in our various African countries, you know that there are pockets of poverty. There's poverty and there's poverty. And those of us here, we are from the communities where we feel the poverty the most. So anything to fight poverty, we are very interested in it. But what made all of us proud as Ghanaians is that when they looked at the record of the African countries, how are we doing? And the Honorable Minister became a hot commodity. That's why the ambassador told you the meetings and the demand on his time, because everybody wants to know how is Ghana doing it. Because Ghana is a so we need to encourage the government, we need to encourage Minister and his colleague, the President, to keep improving on this performance. But one message comes out which I want to leave with you. It was said that in those countries that are doing well, and as a strategy now going forward to improve in this fight against poverty, that one, more money than, but secondly, that we must promote small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises. And so many of our governments, like Ghana is already leading, they must create a lot of financial opportunities for loans and other things. So those houses you are building is important. Keep building them, because it becomes what? Collateral for you to use to take a loan to do business in Ghana. So please, keep building those houses.
Thank you.
And secondly, try and establish a business. It doesn't have to be a big business. That is what they told us. All the experts, the studies they did. They said, no. Small businesses. Because the small business of today is the medium-sized business of tomorrow, is the big business. And you are here. You've seen people, you know, starting from bread and breakfast. Next thing you know, it turned to a big hotel. So that's the message. Please don't, whatever business, but just start it. Start a small business. Don't wait till you find that big investor. You may not. But most of the businesses, start a small, your own idea with your wife, with your, start something, and use that house as collateral, and then it will become something big. You're very important to our economy. All the improvement that you are seeing is also because of the remittances we are getting from you. We thank you very much for this warm reception for the Minister and the delegation. We'll keep coming to Yankasa.
Atakbir! So now we're going to call upon the President-elect, Alhaji Mada Mohammed. No questions? No questions.
No questions for now. No questions.
No time. Salaam alaikum.
Save your questions.
So, the President-elect is going to give us a vote of thanks, and then our Sheikh is going to pray for our leaders to have for more wisdom to lead our country, Ghana. So, Alhaji Mada Mohammed, the President-elect of Yankasa Association. Atakbir.
So, as our big brother, His Excellency Honorable Dr. Ibn Chambers said, all protocols observed, and I'm also following the protocol established first by His Excellency Ghana's Foreign Minister Alhaji Mumuni Mohammed and by Dr. Ibn Chambers. So I'd like to give my vote of thanks in the language that we can all understand, including His Excellency Ambassador Leslie Kojo Christian. Honorable Ministers,